7.1 K296HH Jamestown.
Coming to you live from Jerry Meyer Arena on this Thursday evening, West Region Boys Wrestling tonight. Jamestown welcomes in WDA rivals St. Mary's for what should be a really fun matchup tonight between these two sides. Blue Jays and Saints both near the topper portion of the WDA in terms of the standings, and both have very, very talented wrestlers on their respective rosters. We'll have John Muse and Jeremy Braun join us coming up at the top of the hour for Blue Jay Wrestling here on Jamestown 107.1 AM 1400, online at newsdakota.com. We are streaming with video once again tonight on our Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube page. Again, that's Jamestown 107.1 Sports on YouTube. You can also search today's date, 01/19/23, JHS Wrestling versus St. Mary's, to find us. 107.1 AM 1400 and online at YouTube. Search for Jamestown 107.1 Sports. After the break, we've got John Muse and Jeremy Braun. We'll take you through the broadcast here on 107.1 newsdakota.com and streaming on YouTube with video.
In our region, winter storms can quickly turn to emergency situations. Otter Tail Power Company encourages you to make a safety plan. Have an emergency safety kit ready with flashlights, medicines, first aid supplies, water, and non-perishable food. Include an extra power source for your phone, and never leave space heaters unattended. Keep them away from flammable items. For more information, go to otpco.com/severe weather safety. A reminder to stay safe from Otter Tail Power Company.
It's never too early to think about spring, and it's just around the corner. And at the Jamestown Country Club, they're ready for the 2023 season, and they have memberships open now. So get signed up and get yours before Valentine's Day, and they'll even throw in a $100 gift certificate for their restaurant and bar. Contact Sean Taft by email at jcc.
That's how you are and get you back on track. It's always good to check in. Care like nowhere else. Essentia Health. Schedule online at essentiahealth.org.
Quick Lane Jamestown is looking to add to their dynamic team of auto maintenance technicians. Business continues to grow, and they need to expand their staff. Are you a mechanical soul who'd like to work in a modern, clean, and busy shop? Light-duty work includes oil changes, tire rotates, vehicle inspections, maintenance and upkeep, and more. While working alongside an experienced team, and did we mention you get to work in an air-conditioned and heated shop? Competitive wages and benefits offered. Apply online through Facebook or stoutcars.com. Call 701-252-2270 or simply stop by. Claim your career today at RM Stout.
The Honda ATV lineup is here to prove it's possible to work smarter and harder. With the power to get the job done, the technology to make it easier, and tried and tested quality to keep you moving forward. Find the Honda ATV that fits your needs at Gun and Reel Sports on 1st Street West in downtown Jamestown. Then you'll start to understand how life is better on a Honda. For riders 16 years of age and older, Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course and read the owner's manual thoroughly.
Why choose professional eye care centers? Let's count the whys. First, there are now 4 great doctors to see: Dr. Frank, Dr. Freilich, Dr. Jangula, and now welcoming Dr. Bond. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, and Edgeley. And finally, their fantastic frame selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit proeyecarecenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional eye care centers, clearly the best.
Where do you find the friendliest staff, largest selection, lowest prices, and the freshest produce? Hugo's in Jamestown. But what if you can't go to the store? Hugo's Family Marketplace offers online shopping. You can shop all the departments and all the sales at GoHugos.com. Choose pickup or Hugo's delivery service, and they'll do the in-store shopping for you. Hugo's Family Marketplace online shopping at GoHugos.com.
You're gonna find more low prices, more great stuff when you go to Hugo's.
Where do teams go to get their custom printed apparel?
Original!
Where do companies go to get their corporate logo printed on shirts, caps, and jackets?
Originals, of course.
And where do fans go to get their Blue Jay and Jimmy apparel either off the rack or single-piece prints?
Originals! Originals!
There you have it, folks. For custom printed apparel, embroidery, and work apparel, it's Originals, 216 First Avenue, downtown Jamestown. Open 9 to 5 weekdays.
Your home for the Jamestown Blue Jays. AM 1400 KQDJ Jamestown and 107.1 K296 HH Jamestown.
Back to Jerry Meyer Arena. John Muse, Jeremy Braun, take it away, guys. I'll leave you with this. What'd you see this past weekend? First team victory over Century on the road in Bismarck. First team victory over Century on the road in Bismarck in Jamestown history. The win over Watford City, but the loss to Williston. Just recap this past weekend.
Oh boy.
I've never seen the WDA this tight. I mean, and I'm talking going back 20 years. I've never seen anybody could beat anybody on a given night with such a large field. Usually, we have the top 2, maybe 3 teams that are pretty much sketched out, penciled in, that's who's going to go to the state duels. This year, you're talking that we maybe have the top 1 or 2 that are sketched in, and then there's a whole group that are super competitive. I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, because this year we're talking about, for the first time in history, some of these teams are going to be able to be teams that would be real. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of depth in Jamestown right now. But you got Williston that came out of nowhere, and now they are salty all of a sudden. First time that Williston has beat BHS since the mid-1990s.
In their home gym.
In their home gym. I mean, I would have liked to have been there just to see what the Crickets were doing, because, I mean, it must have been a tough night for BHS, because, I mean, they've been number 1 every year. I mean,
right. BHS, they've got a history of being the top team in the state. And, you go back before that, though. You take the St. Mary's team the night before we wrestled Century and Williston beat BHS. St. Mary's beat Century.
I know.
Then we go into Century's gym. We beat Century. And I mean, they're both close duels. I believe we beat them by 3, and I think St. Mary's beat them by 4, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was just 1, John. I mean,
maybe it was.
I think it was just 1 point that we beat Century by. But, that's what these duels are coming down to. It used to just be like a lopsided slaughter fest for most of the duels, and then there was just a few competitive teams.
Right.
Now we're talking that, even BHS is on the table as far as being approachable. Like I said before, it's too bad that we were not healthier. It wasn't a little later in the season when we faced BHS. Who knows what could have happened? But we're in a situation right now, if we don't win tonight versus St. Mary's, we're in danger of not going to the state duels. I mean,
we're in the cusp.
With one of our best teams ever. But, hey, you got some injuries. You got some issues with getting kids at the right weights. And anything can happen when that happens. So, looking tonight, you might see some moving around up or down in those weight classes, things that we haven't seen all year, just in order to maybe win this duel or give us a chance to win this duel.
Well, we're coming in here. I know on the roster it shows Bo Nelson at 195, but in all honesty, Bo's back kind of buckled on him a little bit last week. He didn't wrestle in Williston, took an injury default. And, he's out here in his street clothes today. So, there goes out a rated wrestler for us. And talking with St. Mary's coach, their 182-pounder, he had some stuff come up, and he wasn't able to come tonight. So that kind of throws a toss-up in there, too.
Yeah, I mean, and when it comes up to those upper weights, it may be one of those things where we do not know who they're going to run out here. Like,
right.
At one that includes from like 138 on up. We do not know for those few weights there where we're going to be lining up with these guys. When it comes down to, we're looking at Preston Gall. I mean, he is moving well. He's looking good. I would have thought never that this is not going to happen this season. But
don't you mean Ethan?
But yeah. With the Gall brothers, though, like I said, there's an element of toughness there where don't ever count them out. And, like I said before, Ethan's a bull in the china shop. Preston's a little bit more refined version of that, but he's still that bull in the china shop as well.
Right.
And it's going to be an interesting duel tonight, though. I mean, and it's cool that, running at the same time, we have the girls across from us. They're going to be dueling against I believe it's the St. Mary's dual team. I'm not sure how full the lineups are, but the Blue Jays, the numbers are real up for the Blue Jay girls this year, too.
Well, according to the roster, we've got 4 opens on the girls, and they have 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
either they know how to fill out a roster and just put pencil names in, or they really have that good of a roster. It's going to be interesting though. I've never been in a situation where a home duel where we have a side by side. We have the girls and the boys going at the same time. We'll be kind of updating with the girls' score as time goes on, but this is a kind of a do or die duel here, possibly for both of these teams.
Yep.
I mean,
this could be it could implicate on which team's going to get to go to the duels at the end of the year.
And when's the last time that Century has not made to the state duels? I mean, that's been. I would like to find out when that name or that year was. I mean, that's been a long time ago since Century. I mean,
yeah, no, I agree. No, it's going to be interesting. We just got done with the announcements of the wrestlers. Looks like. Well, they don't have up what weight class we're starting at, so I got to kind of pay attention here, Jeremy. We're going to start out at 132.
It's going to be a little bit of jockeying around here, people. So I mean, we're going to have seen wrestlers. Some of these wrestlers that are wrestling up, or they're staying at their same weight. It's going to be a little bit of a chess match here with these coaches. So we're starting out at 132?
We're starting out at 132 over here on the boys. They're calling some of the girls out. Got a couple of buys or forfeits because of our opens. Wait a minute, Cardinals. Oh, Carrington down here? No. Okay, we're confused.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be Carrington coming down for the girls' side of things.
It is Carrington. By God. Well, Jeremy, we should pay a little closer attention to what's going on. We haven't been around this wrestling very long. So everybody bear with us. We're kind of basketball guys at heart.
Yeah, right. We're trying to. It's hard enough to keep up with the guys roster right now.
Well, we're starting out at 132, Jeremy, and they bumped up Landon Huck up to 132. He's on the roster for 126, so kind of looks like they're bumping him up, and so they're trying to bring up their number 2 rated wrestler at 132, and looks like they're going to probably bump him up to 38. They want to come out and push that Braun kid.
Yeah, and who knows? Like I said, where Aiden's going to end up here. So we got the Blue Jays coming up here, looking for the first takedown, shooting a sweep to the left side.
Landon's got a good whizzer in there. He's trying. We got to figure out who our wrestler is, Jeremy.
I know.
Yeah, there he got that.
Got the nice takedown there, shooting to the left side. Something that's a little bit more difficult to perfect.
Hey, by the way, we got to give a shout out. We got Casey Henderson down here reffing the match. He's a
blast from the past.
A blast from the past.
A guy that should be here every other duel, but we see him maybe once a year if we're lucky. We like his reffing. We get a nice reversal here down there, but
St. Mary's ties it up 2-2 in the matchup here.
Got 1 minute left in the first period.
We got a little dead air going on here because we're just trying to figure out who our Jamestown wrestler is. They brought out a JV wrestler, and looks like Landon. He's got that armbar in there, and he's working on some back points. He's got 3 coming.
Yeah, this is one of our JV wrestlers that wrestled up here, and I think if I'm not mistaken, John, he came up through the middle schools season this year. So
sure, okay. We got one of our ground crew going to run down and see if he can't figure out who we got out there wrestling.
He's giving up a good fight here, though. I mean, we got a 5-2 score after the first period. Fought off his back really tough there for quite a long time, fighting off that armbar pin.
Well, they're starting out the second period both on their feet. Trying to get into his tie up there. Well, it looks like he's got a – well, he looked like he had a Russian in there. Gets in there on – well,
He's going to have to
Landed
square
from
up
St.
there a little
Mary's.
bit. It looks like St. Mary's is trying to cut the corner there. We don't got the Wizards stuck in there yet. So
there he gets his 2 for a
eventually
takedown.
Finishes the double. Goes to work right away on top, trying to attack that left side of the body. We got 1:25 left in the second period.
Score is 7-2 in favor of St. Mary's. You know, this Landon, he says he's a freshman. Don't know a lot more than that about him, though.
Yeah, he's really good at sinking in that arm bar, but luckily Jamestown, we got
getting some
starting
back.
to give up some back points now.
Oh,
rolled all the way. Oh, almost rolled all the way through.
Oh, looks like he's trying to get that. Hey, he got 2 back points, but then our boy he hit a reversal.
Levi
he's got him on his
got him on his back, and he's giving up near fall.
Boy, he's got that in there pretty tight. If he can sneak this pin, there
yeah!
it is.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this.
He's a little jacked up.
Levi Trivik, I mean, come up through the JV system here.
What's the name?
Levi Trivik.
Levi.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering it a little bit.
I'm going to let you butcher it on your own, Jeremy.
But I tell you what, this kid's
he's jacked up. Look at that.
I'm already a fan. So, I mean.
He's got the boys on the bench fired up. He came up through the ranks. He pulled off a big win, Jeremy.
I tell you what, yeah, that was one that St. Mary's probably had penciled in their column.
Yeah, they bumped Steidler up to face off against that Braun kid, the masked.
The masked man himself.
Yeah.
He's working that underhook on the left side, which he likes to do. He's got to get that head position, though. Just the start of the second match here. He's got to get moving a little bit more lateral here. He's got to get a little more side-to-side motion there to kind of mix things up, get a little more heavy on the head.
Well, Steidler, you know, he's an experienced wrestler. That name's been around a few years, Jeremy.
Yeah, you know, you're talking Steidlers, and then you're talking, yep, just ran him over with a nice, like, blast double, 2-point takedown.
Braun's got the takedown with 2, brings it 2-0.
Aiden's still wearing the either, I don't know, it's Batman or it's
Darth Vader, Batman.
He's wearing whatever mask to keep his nose in alignment. So,
you know, I talked to him last week after one of his matches, and I asked him, I said, well, when you go out to the center and you shake hands, do you ever think about walking up there and go, I am Batman?
Or I am your father. Yeah.
Right.
Right now, though, he's working on top.
Oh, we got a pin over there on the girls' match. I can't. You know, my age anymore, I can't see that far away, Jeremy.
I know.
Looks like it brings the. Well, they don't have the dual points up over there. That's unfortunate.
So we got 2-0 score here. 40 seconds left in the first period. St. Mary's doing a good job kind of fending off the.
Oh, there.
Aiden has took him right back to the mat there. He's trying to work for that claw underneath.
He's got a Turk
in there. But he's going to have to run him over, running forward there a little bit more. Steidler's doing a good job. He's going to have to punch that elbow in there on the right side and run him over with the left side.
All right, next up for the Cardinals at 120, Leah Torres and Journey Pelton.
But Steidler's, there's no, I'm sure he's been fighting off his back most of his life, you know, growing up in a wrestling household, just like our kids have.
Oh, you don't think his older brother's kind of whooped on him, do you?
No, not at all. I'm
assuming those were his brothers. I was looking in the crowd to see if I seen his dad.
Well, Steilers and Rickers. I mean, that's a given. Start neutral here in the second period. Still just a 2-0 score.
Well, Steidler, he's ranked number 2 at 132, and Aiden's number 3 at 138. And Aiden, he gets another takedown there, brings the score 4-0.
So we got two higher-ranked wrestlers here.
It's a good matchup.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, both guys got a lot of pride. They got a lot of time into it. They're not gonna. Yeah. It's gonna take a lot to major each other or pin each other or anything like that. It's one of those things where pride sometimes is enough to keep the score close.
Right.
at this point, looking at the way things have measured up so far, it'd be not a bad idea to maybe cut him loose and open things up a little bit here. But Aiden's choosing to grind things off on the mat there a little bit. Got a minute left here in the second period. 4-0 score.
This is one of them things that I'd like to see our boys do a little bit more when they get into this grind where they're just not really getting any turn action going, to cut them and get them back on their feet. Aiden's good enough on his feet that he can start breaking some of his opponents down if he wants to.
Yeah, I agree, John. I mean, I've been preaching this to the, for many, many years there with Aiden. And now we got a stalling on the bottom who's just kind of balling up and trying to survive, Styler is. So he just ran him out of bounds there. We got a 4-0 score, 20 seconds left. Should almost start from neutral here, but he's going to stay on top here. He's been doing a good job of getting that arm bar, but it's, Styler's been balling up into a ball, and you can't turn a ball. I mean, not in wrestling when you get your knees underneath you. He's just kind of grabbing onto his arm. He's just stalling like crazy right now, and I'm surprised he did not get the second stalling call there, but he survived, got out of the period.
Looks like Aiden's got choice. He's looking over at the coach, and coach kind of giving him the shrug going, what do you want to do?
Yeah, in this position here, I'm not sure. I'd like to see him on his feet, but.
He's up on his feet. Styler brings it back down.
Squatting up on the left side there. Aiden is trying to hip in a little bit. Styler trying to drive him forward, get good forward pressure. This is something where Aiden's got to work on a little bit. He's got to get a little bit better on the bottom, especially if he's going to be wrestling up every once in a while for the team.
Yep.
He's got to get back to his base, and he's got to get out of there from the bottom there.
Kudos to Styler. I mean, he's staying tight on top, putting some forward pressure on there.
He is.
Not giving Aiden any room to start moving around.
And that's why I just don't like the fact of him starting out on the bottom. I mean, I know he's got to. It's something as a team we have to improve on.
Yep.
Century, Dick or Williston. I've never seen that many good kids choosing top.
Right.
When they became their choice. That shows that we as a team are weak on the bottom. I mean, we're not getting out.
Oh, he sat out.
He's almost out there, but still struggling to get off the bottom. Still 1 minute left in the first period, or the third period, I'm sorry.
He's got that forward pressure on Aiden. Aiden caught his head. He's coming up and around.
Did get the escape here with 40-some seconds left here.
Brings the score 5-0. If Aiden's going to want to get that major,
he's going to have to cut him.
He's going to take him down, cut him.
Take him down and cut him, and take him down and cut him.
He's got 30 seconds to do her.
He's going to have to speed things up here, though.
All right, next up for the Cardinals and Blue Jays at 125, Anna Marie Bracken and
Styler went in for a shot. Aiden's got him in that front head.
Yeah, we got 15 seconds left here. 10 seconds left.
Styler, he's just hanging on to them elbows. He's not trying to advance position or anything. Oh, there he's got the 2 right at the end. Score 7-0.
7-0. So it brings it up to 9-0 in favor of the Blue Jays.
All right. Next up at 145, looks like we're bringing Eric Shea out.
Next up at 145, number 6 in the state, Eric Shea and Jordan Richter.
They're bumping Shea. And Jordan Richter's jumping up. Another wrestling name over there in St. Mary's for years.
Styler and Richter, you couldn't.
Them families, they can pretty much just have their own team.
Yeah, they could. They could if there's like 2 or 3. You got those Catholic.
Oh,
German
Eric
Catholics.
caught him in a headlock.
Yep. He's got him on his back. Oh.
Yeah, I expected that Richter was going to roll him through, though. Oh, he got.
Oh, he didn't give him any
back points.
Wow, that's.
Well, I don't know that Eric had his back exposed, though. I mean, it just.
He didn't really show like great control.
No.
Eric's got to be a little bit careful there. He likes to hit that sit out right away on the bottom.
Yep.
And, there's teams that study film, and, they see that. They see that he likes
Richter's
to hit that as
that
his
leg
first
in,
move.
and then he's got that crossbody in there. He's working on trying to get a guillotine in here, Jeremy.
So he's working that crossbody ride there, working across Shea's left side of his body. Eric's trying to free his arm up there.
He's going to get an escape here. Oh, he tried to hook a standing cradle.
There he goes. Shea got back to his feet, and we got a 3-2 lead here for Eric Shea.
No, oh, yeah, Eric does have the lead. Okay. Sorry. I need to pay attention, Jeremy. This is some fast action.
Yeah, I mean, Shea.
But Shea's one of those kids. I mean, he came out late, and you just don't know what or where he's going to come from.
I tell you what, I mean, we could, with what he has as far as mental toughness, as far as enthusiasm, I mean, we could do so much with him. I mean, it's one of those things where, it's difficult if you can't get a lot of time in, a lot of mat time in. Sometimes it gets to be a little bit difficult to add new things to your offense. We got 10 seconds left here. We got a 3-4 score in favor of St. Mary's. Got Richter looking to try to turn him with an arm bar, but Shea fights out of it.
Got his arm back and come out of that. So looks like Richter is going to end this period in the lead 4-3. Looks like it's Jamestown's choice, and Shea chose neutral. Eric got in there on a nice shot.
I don't like him shooting that crossbody shot.
I don't either,
there, John,
but he got in it.
He created some action.
Down.
He created some action, and then, the quickness and the athleticism all paid off. So he got the takedown eventually from 5-4 position.
Yep.
I do not like, unless you're a, high crotch wizard, shooting that shot,
Eric cuts him.
Shooting off.
I think Eric.
He didn't want to roll around with Richter.
No.
Richter, probably is a little bit better mat wrestler.
Eric got in there
him.
on a nice double, switches to a single, but Eric's got in there on that shot again in the double, switches to a double, takes him down.
Wow,
brings us 7-5.
7-5. I mean, tell you what, if Shea just wrestles on his feet, and stays away from this rolling around on the mat, John, there's a lot of things this kid's going to do and surprise a heck of a lot of kids. Even, last week in Century, he got in really deep on a couple shots on a really good kid, Dakota. I mean, he was.
I think he surprised Caden.
I think Caden was surprised, and I think Eric was surprised sometimes. You're like, holy crap, I got in this deep on a shot on,
let's be honest.
One of the best kids
I think everybody was surprised.
You know what? Eric, though, that's one of the great things about him. He doesn't even know names. He doesn't know faces. He just goes out there and he wrestles whoever they throw him out there. He could be a national champion, and he would just go out there and wrestle the same game.
Yeah, he wouldn't know. And that's the thing that's nice about Eric. He just goes out there. He's always got a smile on his face.
But that'd be a little insult to injury here if he got that crotch thread there. He's really trying to work it, bring it back in. We got about 15 seconds left, 10 seconds left now. He's got to keep him glued down here. He's giving himself a good chance to compete in this match. 5 seconds left. He's got to keep him down here, though.
1.
He kept him down. He kept control. So it's 7-5 going into the third period here. Eric Shea is
same. Richter's going to choose down.
Which I don't disagree with that. 7-5, and I think that Richter should. I mean, anything on the mat is going to be probably a little bit of an advantage to a higher ranked wrestler.
The only thing is, I wish Eric would, if he's gonna do anything.
There we go. Nice.
He got that lift, but and he got him on his back, but he didn't catch it.
Nice crotch thread mat return, and but that gets in people's heads, John. When you get jacked up like that, when you get one of those sky jacks and you get up in the air, it's a little scary coming down as a wrestler. You feel a little bit out of control.
There you go.
So Richter got the escape now, so we got a 7-6 score with 1:28 left to go in the third period.
There's that crossbody shot you like so much.
Yes, if you're quick enough like Shea where you can recover from it, but I tell you what, it usually ends up like a turd sandwich. It usually does not pan out very well. And most, all the Taz kids, they know that, how much we hate that shot. So, but Eric is one of those few kids that can recover from it. Richter's in deep on a low single. And
Eric's got that far side ankle, though, so
yeah,
if he can hang on to that
if he can just
and
keep
circle
his hips
around,
high.
and circle around.
If he can keep his hips high
There he
and
goes.
run Richter over. And it looks like he's going to turn his Richter shot into his own
he tried to
offense.
step over. Eric tried to step over, and that was the wrong thing to do.
He's got to get that left leg out. His left leg is pinned underneath.
They're both out. No points scored.
No points scored. 25 seconds left. Shea's still up 7-6. Eric's going to have to
This is where Eric gets a little sloppy.
Yes, he does. These close matches, you should just stay away from him now. I would just push him away, not engage him at all.
10
just
seconds
stay away.
left.
Just stay away.
Oh, Eric's got it getting on his back, getting some.
Eric Shea gets
not
the
getting any
takedown.
counts yet. No counts yet. Now he is.
Yeah. Now he's getting some near fall. Wow.
Two near fall brings the finals 11-6 in favor of Eric Shea.
I tell you what, those were two chess moves there by either coach that end up paying off for the Blue Jays. I mean, sometimes it doesn't pan off that way, or one pans out, the other one does not. But that was, that last interchange over the last two matches. We got two of their ranked kids that we were able to take off the board with two of our ranked kids.
Right.
So we got 12-0 score after three matches in, I should say.
We got Grady Anderson out here. I didn't catch the name for St. Mary's, Jeremy. Did you?
John Richter.
It is John Richter. So we got number 4 at 152 and number 2 from 145. So Grady rated number 2 at 145. John Richter rated number 4 at 152. So another one of them good ranked kid matchups, Jeremy.
Yep. Well, that's the way it's been. Grady just got the nice takedown there and cut him loose right away. Grady's going to make his money on the mat, or with the takedown on his feet. And which that's kind of our strength. That they coming up through the Taz program. Jason always showing them a fresh new takedown every week, something new for them to work on.
Grady's got him in on that front head.
So these kids really
But
are
Richter's got that
zone.
wrist, and he's pulling that through. He's not going to let Grady just come around on him.
He had the front head position. Now they're both back to the neutral, back on their feet. Trying to square off, work for their ties. We got 50 seconds left in the first period. 2-1 score in favor of Anderson.
And that's a pin for the Cardinals by Kennedy Wendell.
Richter, he's got Grady's right arm there, and he's trying to cut that corner. And
he's got a little length on Grady, but Grady's, Grady's a little bit long himself, so he's comfortable with these ties. I would like to see him work in the better head position. I mean, he seems like he's doing well getting his underhook, but he's not. His head's on the opposite side of the body.
Nice duck under.
I tell you what, he hit that duck and he went to the opposite side of the body, and then we got another 2-point takedown. But Grady should try to mat return him here, John. And we got 5 seconds left. Did a good job bringing him right back to the mat. Great mat awareness and clock awareness on Grady.
Yep.
So we got a 4-1 score after the first period.
Looks like we're going back to neutral. Oh, off the whistle.
St. Mary's choice, and they chose neutral. So a little bit of surprising there, seeing that Anderson, took him down twice in the first period.
Well, and off the whistle, he reached over and he grabbed that ankle for an ankle pick and just wasn't able to pull it in. Richter's a strong kid.
Yes, he is. Yep. This is his natural wrestling weight, whereas Grady and it has. I think it was moved up a weight class, right?
Yes.
We're at 152
We're at
right
152.
now. So this is
And that's just it. I mean, Richter, he's ranked number 4 at 152. Grady's number 2 at 145. So Grady's given up a little bit of weight to a very good wrestler. So
well, and it's one of those things where and through that middle zone there, maybe it doesn't matter that much when you're 220 or your 285 weight classes. When you get down to that middle meat of the orders, I mean, 5 pounds, 4 pounds, it means something. I mean, it's a sacrifice to get down a weight class, and it's a sacrifice to step up and wrestle the next weight class up. And that's what Grady's doing here tonight for us. Got a 4-1 score with 50 seconds left in the second period. Anderson doing what he does best, working on his feet. Nice club there by Richter.
Yep.
And he went right in on the single leg attack, but Grady's working that same side of the body there. He's got the ankle. He doesn't got the crossface, so Richter's using a little bit of his strength here. Grady's fighting it. Oh, he did give up the 2-point takedown. 25 seconds left, 4-3 match, second period.
Anderson's still in the lead.
It was kind of back and forth there. They both were working, whizzer and trying to cut the corner on each other. And then Richter ended up cutting the corner on Grady. Grady looks like he's just going to ride it out here at the bottom, trying to fight off.
Got 5 seconds left here. So where do you start at here, Jeremy? You got choice.
Grady, I would choose on his feet. I don't know.
Yep, that's exactly what he chose.
I'll tell you what, I
like my chances with Grady on his feet.
Yeah, I do. Especially since he's probably at this point feeling a little bit of burn in the lungs there, giving up some size. You definitely can see it. There's a difference in size between the two wrestlers.
Richter, he's got them hands down. He's protecting any of them shots of Grady's.
When he shot right off the second period there, right in on that low single there, Richter's like, I would like to see our kids get a little bit of that front head series. I know Jason preaches this over and over again, and they drill it at endlessly, but that front head position, we've been able to score a lot as a team over the years, from Taz all the way up to the Blue Jays here. Grady's been able to get in with his underhook on the side he wants to, but he hasn't been able to get that head position.
Right.
But he is good at taking that bad head position and ducking to the opposite side of the body.
Oh, Richter's gotten in on them legs.
Richter got in on his legs. Grady got a little bit sloppy there with his hand fighting.
Yeah.
We got a 1 minute left here in the third period. We got a 4-5 score in favor of Richter. So Grady's going to fight off the bottom here now. Now that he's behind, he doesn't have the luxury of sitting down there and just staying in a good position on the bottom. He's going to have to score from the bottom now.
Richter's doing a good job staying off the side, keeping that forward pressure so Grady can't get stood up.
Grady almost looks like he's out here. Oh, but right back to the mat there. This is where those extra few pounds are going to start wearing on Grady a little bit. We got 35 seconds left in the third period. Still a 5-4 score. Grady's, he was out. He was out. And
there's a little crotch lift going. Grady's
Grady's
doing everything
he's trying
he
to
can.
throw him out. He's trying to throw him by there.
Just not enough.
I'm surprised.
Not enough lead in the sled.
Well, I'm surprised that we haven't got a restart here at some point in time, but we have not. We got 10 seconds left here. Grady's going to have to hit something slick or get out.
Richter's just doing a good job of staying on top, keeping in control. Pushing forward. Yeah. St. Mary's wins that one. Score of 5-4.
So we got a 12-3 score overall. That was the one match so far out of all these ranked wrestlers right up the front here through the midsection of both these lineups that did not go in favor of the Blue Jays.
So I'm going to assume this should be Harrison Grad coming out here for St. Mary's. And
Harrison Grad's ranked number 4 at 160.
Yep. We got Aiden Eckert coming out for Jamestown. Well, I know he just said 170, but I think our announcers, I think he's off a weight class.
Yeah.
Harrison's another one of those kids. I mean, his older brother wrestled a few years ago. He was a bigger kid.
Yeah, I mean, hard to believe. I mean, he was a short heavyweight, but he was He was a heavyweight, but he was salty. I mean, he was tough. You know, it's crazy seeing him go out against some of these taller, lankier heavyweights. Aiden's got to get a little bit better at like hipping down, and he's still whenever anybody hits his legs, he likes to bend over at the waist and try to crotch grab across the body, and that just does not it does not work out, especially in this style of wrestling. And it ends up being in this situation here where he's fighting off cradles. He spends a lot of energy fighting the bottom. You know, he did really come on at the end of the last year, John. You know, it seemed like he really caught fire after this, coming into this weekend, like when we're going out to Grand Rapids. You know, if he could do that again, just kind of catch a little momentum coming off of one tournament like that and take that into state, sometimes that helps the wrestler out. That gets them back on their feet. They get their head straight. We got a 5-0 score right now. It looks like it's going to be 3 more near fall once Grad let's go. So we got an 8-0 score with 40 seconds left here in the first.
Harrison's working that arm bar in there again.
Aiden's got to get his palms out, and he's got to get them wide, and he's got to dig those into the mat. He brings his arms too far back, so he could almost run a double chicken wing. You could run one side and then switch to the other. And he spends so much energy trying to fight off those chicken wings, and he's doing it right now again. He's got short time, though, and tell you what, he tries to keep fighting all the way through, but, I mean, arm bar, when you get a tight arm bar like that, it is really hard to fight off points.
But, you know, kids have a hard time getting that arm bar over on him. I mean, he is so flexible.
He is, and, I mean, he's strong. And he puts a lot of effort in. So I'm hoping that he can catch fire here. It's senior season here and just finish strong. He got caught on his hip there a little bit. And
Harrison comes around, and he's got him on his back again.
Once again, that mat wrestling sometimes.
Yep. There's the pin for Harrison.
So
brings the score
Grad
12-9.
12-9 in favor of the Blue Jays. Next up, we got, looks like we got one of those Muse kids.
Yeah.
One of those blonde kids on the bench there. All right, we got Colton Muse coming out here. Colton's right now ranked number 2, and I don't know, who's he going against, John, here? I mean, there's so many moving.
Nope, they're going to face up. So
it is.
Jackson
so we got number 2 against number 3 here tonight. I mean, we got every single match almost so far has had either one or both wrestlers ranked.
Colton gets in on that ankle pick right away. Gets 2, takedown, cuts him, gets back on his feet.
There we go. He's bringing it right at him, showing him this is my home mat, and this is the way it's going to go down. You kind of saw Richter there, kind of backed off a little bit there, kind of like.
Colton's got that left underhook. He likes that underhook.
Well,
and he's got that front head.
Richter right off the bat there when he gave up that takedown. Now his catch hand is it sits on the mat, because I mean he can't get below that. But this is Colton's type of wrestling here. In tight,
down on the ankle,
grinding back and forth. Looks like another takedown. Another takedown. He's got the leg Turk there on top too. Richter's kind of tough here to turn in this position though, because he's kind of a long, gangly guy compared to Colton, and so Colton's really got to do. He's still got the leg Turk there though.
Still got that Turk, and he's working.
But we're right near the out of bounds too, so we got a minute left here, and Richter, I'm sure, sees that out of bounds line in front of him and is like thinking, if things get too bad, I'll just crawl out of bounds, and that's what happened.
Yep.
We got to restart here, coming back to the middle. 57 seconds left in the
Colton's
first period.
Colton's going to cut him, give him the 1 point.
I totally agree with that. Let's get it back to the feet here. Let's Perler and all the great coaches, that run camp systems throughout the United States. That's one of the things they preach the most. Cut the kids, break them mentally a little bit first, and then all of your other offense will feed up off of that.
And Colton's in on another single, bringing it up.
Nice single
Taking
to the
him down.
left side.
There's 2. Brings us 6-2 with
You have to be
30 seconds.
If you're going to be on the Taz Wrestling Club, you have to be ambidextrous with the sweep singles. So you got to be able to shoot left and right. Like I said, this is the time to catch fire, John. I mean, if you're going to – this is the time to build some momentum.
Oh, Rick. He tried hitting a Granby, and Colton
he
sloppily
did,
followed him through.
Well, I tell you what. He's lucky.
He's going to hit it again.
He's going to end up putting himself on his back. He's not clearing Colton's arm.
Got that arm bar.
He's got it. He's trying to roll Colton through with an arm bar, and that's not going to end up well.
Oh, Colton's got him on his back. He's going to get some back exposure.
A little slow in the counting there. We only got a 2 count, or a 3 count for a 2-point near fall. This brings the score to 8-2 starting in the second period. Colton is his choice. He chose neutral, which cannot argue with that up to this point. He's been taking them down at will. You know, Jason always said, hey, we have got to develop the on-the-feet wrestling, because that's the hardest thing to develop.
He kept going after that one, and then he caught him coming back around.
Looks like Colton's going to end up locking up a takedown here. And he's saying, yep, then he got the 2-point takedown. So he got a 10-2 score with 1:30 left.
So do you tell him to keep wrestling on the mat, or do you cut him again?
I tell you what, at this time here, I would cut him again. I'd start neutral. If we got any restart, I would bring him back and start him neutral.
Well, he looks like he's going to try mat wrestling a little bit more.
Well, we'll see a little bit here. But if we don't score before a minute, I would like to see Colton cut him, especially the way he's been dominating so far on his feet. It'd be nice, John, to maybe this is a 2 versus 3, but then it would put it down on paper as this is definitely a 2-horse race then at that point. I mean, if the number 3 guy has no confidence he can be the number 2 guy, it's definitely going to come down in the favor of Colton come state. WDAs.
We're at 1 minute, and I'd really like to see the coaches tell him to cut him loose. I mean, I know he's got the arm bar in there, but
because Richter's just going to do like what he did, with when they did with Aiden. They're just going to ball up and they're going to stay stolid.
Just give him the one.
There you go.
There's his one.
Richter rolled out of it, got his 1-point escape. So now we're at a 10-3 score here. We got to get one more takedown, and then we have to probably get a ride out after that. It might not be enough time to just go into a flurry here. So Colton's going to take him down again, and then just ride him out with an arm bar, arm lever. Just stay busy on top. He's got 25 seconds left, though. He should have plenty of time to cut the corner on him. Would like to see him get back to a sweep there a little bit, but it's a little difficult when Richter's backing up. When you're backing up, it's hard to shoot a sweep single. You got to get in on an underhook or a different type of setup. We got 10 seconds left here. It would be real good here if we could somehow get 2 more points here, but it looks like Richter's going to use his length here and get out of this with a decision.
Well, Colton got in there deep and just not enough room, and Richter got them far ankles.
Well, we need to get a little bit better going side to side. I mean, like I said, with Colton and – oh, I thought that was now we're going into the third period.
We're in the third period now. We got a 10-3 score. So
just reading the clock there. We've got plenty of time. What are you worried about, John?
Well, I wasn't going to say nothing because I know you just learned how to read a digital clock.
Yeah, these newfangled devices these days.
Colton went in on that deep shot again, and Richter's got them heavy hips in there.
I just don't like – I mean, Colton's got some really slick misdirection. There we go. He's his cross body. Well, we tell every kid not to do, but except for Colton. He ended up locking up that hop over whizzer.
So he's working on a power half, and Richter's just laying out there.
He's keeping elbows in survival mode at this point. We got 1:10 left, 12-3 scored in the third period.
At this point right now, he's got the major decision. Colton's got to be a little bit careful here. He's got his boots in, and he's working on that power half again.
I just don't think these Richters, they know how to keep their shoulders off the mat, John.
Right.
He's just going to do what happened with Aiden's match there. So have to watch out here. He might end up getting himself in trouble here.
Yeah, he got himself in trouble.
He got in a reversal.
So now he's going to have to get up and get out of there and get a takedown because
we got a 12-5 score here, so he's got to get. He's got to.
He lost his major
just to get that 4-point major decision here. He's got to get out of that arm bar. 25 seconds left here. Colton's gonna. He's up in the quad. He's up in the quad position. He's strong from this position. He's out. It looks like he's out, John. He's out. Got the 1-point escape. So we got a 13-5 score with 7 seconds left in the third period.
Yep, it is the third period this time. He's got 2 seconds left.
Yeah, I think he'd argue if we went down and said there's one more. Just 2 seconds left here. So another 4 points for the Blue Jays, team points. So we got a 16-9 score after the 160 match. So this next matchup, we've got Jackson Walters going against.
On paper, it says Carter McClinsky. No, boy,
Miklish. I'm trying to, or Miklish.
Let's see what they say.
Sounds like a German brew, but there's a lot of good German Catholics down there in St. Louis. Yep, it is. It's Carter Miklish. We'll just go with our announcer, I guess. Freshman.
Well, I'm hoping that there's some St. Mary's parents saying some prayers for my ability to pronounce names.
I tell you what, Jackson's going to just treat it like every other match.
He had that front head. And
nice little shuck by there. I mean, he's getting really fluid there with that front head position.
Well, Jeremy, it looks like the girls finished up over there, and looks like they won, beating Carrington 42-36.
42-36. That's a tight score over there.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for the Blue Jays, giving up a few forfeits there. So those girls that did wrestle, they had to make up a lot of points.
Well, Jackson's got him on his back down here, looking for a pin.
Jackson's nice and long. He did when he sinks an arm bar in. It's worse than it is for many other people. I mean, because it's super tight.
And kudos to Carter. I mean, he's fighting up. He's trying to bridge up. Carter's only a freshman.
Yep. Jackson. Yeah, he just got seniored there a little bit. Carter's going to have a few more years coming up ahead here. He's a nice big-bodied freshman, but there's very few that are going to have enough in the tank to take on Jackson this year. He's been cruising.
Well, you know, Jackson, he's rated #1 in the state. He wrestled #2 kid over at Rotary and kind of controlled that whole match.
Yeah,
if Jackson just keeps steady with what he's doing, doesn't get over pursuing, I mean, he's really got a good year going.
He's one of those kids where he's so really fundamentally sound, and you tell him, Jackson, do not ever do this again, and he legit will never do that again.
No.
I mean, he
will
drop that from his database, and it's never going to happen. So out here for the Blue Jays, we got. Looks like we got a couple maybe JV wrestlers that are picking up some spots here from either team.
Well, Bo would have been in this spot, but I seen him out down there in street clothes here a little bit ago, and like I said earlier, he kind of dinged up his back a little bit in football, and he tried wrestling here last week, and it flared up on him.
It's been kind of a lingering thing, John, and I tell you what, that's one spot. I mean, I hope to goodness we have. Gall that can make a return, because that would be right at his weight class there, and we'd have Gall squared,
Well, I seen Preston down there. He was dressed tonight, but there was no way he was going to be wrestling. I know that.
And maybe he was just weighing in, to kind of get back on the map a little bit or show some options for us.
Oh, full Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and St. Mary's kid knew it too. He come up and he just shook his head.
He knew that he knew what he had done before he was even.
Yeah, before the whistle blew, he knew. You could just see in his face.
Yep.
This is one of our wrestlers. I don't really know who he is.
I don't. Yeah,
he's I know it's his first year, and
he's filled in for us a couple times, and he's got a lot of upside. He's got a lot of athleticism and quickness, just natural abilities. But it's one of those things. Your first year in wrestling it's rough because you think you're just going to be strong and you're in shape, and then you're automatically going to be winning matches, and it's not that case. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot of technique. And then there's technique on bottom, top.
He got the escape,
so
he tied it up 2-2.
Looked rough early on there.
Oh,
there we go. He re-rolled.
It was a roll through.
And he's got him on his back. He's counting. I think there we go.
Got the pin.
Got the pin for us.
Yeah. Look at that excitement, Jeremy. He's jacked
6
up.
seconds left there. Winner, chicken dinner. Man, that was awesome. Good job.
Chicken dinner.
Did
you eat tonight or not?
Oh, I did not. No,
that's why you're thinking
awesome.
of chicken dinners. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, we get some of our JV kids coming up like that and getting jacked up for this. I mean, we got a 28-9 score here, and
all right.
I'm not sure how Mr. Kelly had it. Mr. Kelly had it. Coach Kelly had it all penciled out, John, and we were going to win. I cannot remember the final score, but he's like the team oracle. He's got like a crystal ball. He's like he will.
Well, when I walk in, he always asks me, "You want the red pill or the green pill?"
And you're like, Neil, I'll take the red one.
So we got Ethan Gall out here, part of that Gall squared we were talking about earlier.
Hopefully that we get to see this year.
Yeah, and he's up against Luke Langenfelder. Luke's been wrestling quite a while. He's a pretty tough little wrestler.
Another big wrestling name, through the St. Mary's wrestling club.
Neither one of these two are ranked in the coaches poll.
I bet right off the page, though, John. I mean, you're talking, these guys are probably in that 7 to 10 realm. Gall got kind of caught flat-footed there. Now he's on his back.
And this is where Ethan always gets caught. He gets caught there, and he tries to hang on just way too long. And
tries to grab onto the head. He thinks he's in a safe position, and he's not.
And Langenfelder, he's been wrestling long enough. There he gets the pin. He knows once he gets in that position, he knows how to suck that up and get the fall.
Well, and it's a thing that just requires repetition. I mean, that push-pull, just feeling when it's time to, bail out and when it's not time to bail out. So we got, I don't know, Ethan's a little bit limping a little bit here coming up here. Hopefully that's just a little tweak there because we surely need that young man. We got Dalton Darby.
We got the Darbinator out here tonight.
Darvin.
Rated number 3 in the state. Jeremy, last week up at Watford City, he went up against that Navon Hayes, last year's state champion.
Yep.
And Dalton, he just ran out of gas. Otherwise, he had that match control.
He did. I mean, he had that thing won, and then he laid over there, and I did have to go over and give one of my youth pep talks to him to get him back on to get up and get vertical again. But he came back and was gritty, and he right in on that takedown there.
Again, nobody's told him yet, and it's a good thing that he's not a small wrestler anymore because he wrestles like he's still a small wrestler.
Yeah, he's still 5th grade, Dalton.
Yeah.
And we'll tell him after the season's over, maybe after he's retired. But until then, we'll just let him keep wrestling like he has been because it's really been paying off for the Jays.
St. Mary's kids stood up. He's got to get him. He's got to let him go.
This is where Dalton's got to learn a little bit to let him go. I mean, he was given a little bit of leeway there, but that's going to get him called stalling at points in time. Yeah, Dalton, he moves real good for a heavyweight, though.
He does.
Mean, he's in a good stance.
There's that nice single
he
again.
He shoots that sweep again where it's just like butter. They just drop to the mat, and they're like, where the heck did he go?
Right. Just about every heavyweight wants to wrestle up there, upper body.
And when you look at Dalton on his face before and after the match,
oh yeah,
you don't know if he just stuck the state champion or if he just got pummeled by tech fault in the first period. He's got the same look on his face the whole time.
It never changes. But, you know, Dalton's been wrestling a long time also.
Right.
You know, he came up through the Taz with us. And,
Yep.
And, you know, like I said, he used to be smaller than Colton.
You know, I tell you what, he'll probably never believe me the rest of his life. I mean, but
so here's, you know, he gets that near ankle and he gets that roll through.
I just don't. I'm surprised he gets that sometimes on some people. He just kind of surprises them though, especially the balled up, a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, got
a period.
So got a 3-point near fall. So we got 7-1 score after the first period. Dalton ran him over there with an arm bar and his own signature Dominator.
Yeah, the Darbinator.
Yeah,
the Darbinator.
Darbination.
That's what the kids
the
have dubbed it.
Yep. And he'll sit there and he'll work these upper body ties with the heavy weights and
all of a sudden he'll just drop down and disappear and they're like, where'd he go?
Yep, and they're on their face and he's behind them.
Yeah, right there, just like that.
Yeah. Sometimes though we've been talking about this with him there.
And just like that. I mean, you know, he was in a bad spot and he just kept spinning with it. And
there's times too, John, he loves to shoot so much, attack the legs that, you know, there's times when we don't want him to attack the legs and he's like just keeps going. He can't stop himself. He's got to keep going with the leg attack. So working that power half there on the right side there. St. Mary's is, you know, doing a good job. He's doing his
coming
good.
Around to the
he's
front
doing his
on the front head. I don't like when he does this, Jeremy, but
I don't either. I mean,
maybe no. See, that's why I don't like that.
Right there.
Yep.
I just, you know, but you got to take the good with the bad, John.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was feeling something, so he went for it, which is, you know what, I got to commend him on it.
I wake up in the middle of the night telling him not to do that sometimes because I'm having dreams about it so many times. But he
here he got a reversal,
and then he does this, and he gets a reversal. So
then I get proud of him again.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Now see he
doesn't know he's got the two, or he hasn't been given. Okay, now he has it too. So we got 11-3 score, 25 seconds left in the second period.
He lets him get up, gets. So now
we
got.
I mean, he should have wrote him out there. We got, you know, it's
an 11-4. Oh, the kid went to adjust his headgear, and Darby seen his opportunity.
Yeah, if you even wipe your nose against Darby, he's going to shoot on you. So I mean, Dalton's just going to level change and take you down.
He's working that half. He's working on getting over just out of time.
13-4 score here after the second period. Going into the third period, it's St. Mary's choice.
St. Mary's wants neutral. I don't know if I'd try that neutral. We got a reversal before.
What's he going to choose though, John? I mean, yeah, maybe top, but the Darbinator's been dominating in all three positions so far. So what are you going to do? And Dalton knows he's up here right now. He's just putting a lot of forward pressure. He's got an underhook and overhook.
He just lulls him to sleep, I think.
Yep.
You don't suppose he's singing lullabies in there, do you?
I don't know.
He gets in there tight and
I think he's
just kind of whispering in their ear.
It's getting him hypnotized, getting him calmed down, and then all of a sudden he disappears into a leg attack. Got a minute 20 left here.
Oh, he's going to try
Dalton's
that headlock. I just don't like when he does that, Jeremy.
I like
There's that leg attack again. There you go.
Just go to that sweep attack. I like his headlock when he hits it in rhythm and hits it in a series, John. But I just don't like when he tries it on and he asks the kid, is that too tight or should I throw it a little tighter or what do you want me to do with this?
Is this comfortable for you?
So we got a 15-4 score here now. Kind of almost like to see him cut him and keep trying to take him down here. I know
the
Dalton's probably getting tired too.
I was going to say, the problem with that, run out of gas and then we just don't have the energy to pull one through and we end up on our back.
Yep.
Kind of like what happened up there at Watford City.
Yes, right. I mean, he had the state champion, last year's state champion, #1 ranked wrestler. I mean, on the ropes in the third period, and he just flat out gassed out.
Yep.
And that's what happens sometimes at these upper weights. They've never tapped into the lower third of their lungs until a very rare match. Working for. I don't know what happened there. Dalton got a little bit sloppy there.
Yeah. He was trying to get some back points. He was going for a tilt.
Yeah.
He watches them little guys do it, and he's like, well, I want to try this.
Yeah. This is one of those deals where you say, Dalton, you did an awesome job, but don't ever do that again.
So brings the score, what was it, 15-5? 15, I didn't catch
Yep.
it.
I think that was the final score, John. So we got a 32-15 team score overall. We're working our way around to the little guys here now, working back to 106. Looks like they're running
15-7 is what it was.
Looks like they're running Grady Eckert out. Is that right, John?
It looks like him.
It looks like we're running Grady Eckert out here at 106, which makes me think that we're going to run Jack Shower then up to 113. And they both wrestle the same weight class. They both are built very similar. Grady's probably even a little longer. I didn't think you could get longer and leaner than Jack, but Grady is kind of that long, lean 106 look himself. So, which is 108 now after Christmas.
Well, we got Carson Massett. Carson gets a quick takedown.
Grady's been doing real good on as far as the JV so far. He's been learning the ropes. He came on a little later than his brother into the sport, and we're happy to have him. But now it's one of those things here where we, in order to fill different slots and things like that, give us some more options. It's nice that he's down there parallel with a ranked wrestler like Jack Shower, where we could do some more things. Grady can come out of this with even if he loses by decision or something like that, that's still a win for us on paper. When we may have conceivably gave up more points with another matchup. So Grady's still doing a good job. He's fighting out on his belly.
Carson, he got that takedown. He's been trying to work an armbar and breaking him down, getting some forward pressure on him. He's running it over, and
darn it.
Well, he's got Grady pretty flat down there.
I tell you what,
I don't have as good of an angle as
we need
as
to have
Casey does,
that lecture where if you're in an arm bar, you got to chew your own arm off before you go over to your back. Because we've been giving up a lot of arm bars here tonight on our near fall. That's probably our one. We're not getting turned in halves or anything else. And now he's fighting off double arm bars. He's got to get his arms out in front of him, especially a nice long kid like him. He digs the palms of his hands into that mat there and creates some back pressure. He's not going to end up in this situation.
Well, Carson got his 3 points for near fall, and now he's working on another turn. He's got that half in there. Grady's got that leg hooked. He's trying to keep him from coming around.
He's got 5 seconds left here. He's trying to fight off any more points here, and he did. So he succeeded. So it's 5-0 after the end of the first period.
St. Mary's choice. They defer. And coach tells Grady, I want you up in neutral.
Don't really want to put him down after just seeing what he did to him on top.
No, not a bit.
Grady's going to have to start getting getting those long legs a little bit wider in his stance, creating a little bit tougher target to shoot on. Here's where he's got to get his arms out in front of him here now. I mean, he's been I think he thinks he's safe bringing his arms back in, but that's one thing when you go from the JV to the varsity realm.
Yep.
You bring your arm back just a little bit, John. Somebody's like, okay, that's an arm bar. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I'll take that.
And that's something that he's going to have to learn, that those arms have got to stay way out in front of you and dig them in with some back pressure. Now he's working the hammerlock from the right side. He's looking for that cross-country turn.
Yeah, he's got it.
And it's tight. It's tight. When you're in this position, it's over.
So Carson gets the pin at 106.
Not sure. That might have been Grady's first match as a varsity wrestler. So if that's true,
brings the team
congrats
score
to him.
32-21 in favor of the Jays.
At 113, number 5 to stage, Jack Shower, and for the stage, Blue Miller.
So we got Jack Shower wrestling up to 113
against Blue Miller.
Blue. You're my boy, Blue. I tell you what.
Blue's out there in the blue singlet.
I'd get a lot of mileage out of that kid being on my team after the old school show.
You know, Jack's, he's getting in there on them legs.
Yeah, he is.
There he's got his takedown.
Just relentless. He just kept in on that single leg attack. Kept working both sides of the body. Comes up with the takedown. Jack's nice and long. You can ride that. He's kind of built for that crotch thread there.
Yeah, ran out of mat space.
I tell you what, he knows what he's going to be running for right in the middle of the mat here. He's going to have to get that going right away. That crotch thread and just putting him over on his back. He's going to get, I think it's a matter of time, John, before he gets him in that same position again here. Jack likes to ride that Iowa, taking that that near side leg and hooking it and dragging it out away from the body so that the wrestler
there's that crotch thread. He's going to work on getting that in there again. He's got it.
He's going to run him over here with it. Yep, and he's got him on his back. And he's counting near fall. Jack's settling in. Just going to take his time here a little bit. He's got plenty of time. Got the fall.
Got this.
Wow, that was a big one. We needed that score. First period pin, Jack Schauer, 38-21 is the team score for the Blue Jays, favor of the Blue Jays. We're moving up to 120 here now.
So we got Alex Dahlman of St. Mary's and Lucas Schlepitz. Lucas rated number 5 in the state in the latest coaches poll.
Yep, it's nice to see him up there. Luke is he settled into his wrestling weight here, and he's done a good job holding it, and he's become a stalwart there at 120. He's one of those grapplers that we can count in, night out. Nice consistent effort. I mean, and if he doesn't win every match, he's in every match,
right.
and that's all we can ask from any of our wrestlers. It's hard to get down to that initial weight, John. But then once you get there, and and you stay regimented, and you feel like you have some skin in the game, that you put all that work into getting down to that weight.
Oh, you got a nice throw by right there.
Oh, nice little
Brought
throw
him down
by.
the mat. So Luke's got the first takedown of the matchup. He's got him down on the mat, flattened him out.
And
he's
that's
working
kind of
on
a
that
signature. That's kind of a Schleppert signature there. They like to work that crotch there, just like Jack was working there. As a team, that's something that, they kind of try to.
Oh, he's trying to get him stacked up. He just.
Yeah. Feed the hungry hand, and now he's out again. But he's off to the side, trying to work an arm bar. He's still got that underneath arm there. He's still got that arm underneath.
Oh, there he's got some exposure. Yep. We're getting some counts.
There had to have been at least 2 there, at least a 2-point near fall. Yep.
There's his 2.
So we got a 4-0 score here with 22 seconds left in the first period.
Yeah.
At this point, Luke's just got to settle in, stay behind the shoulder, stay behind the armpits, ride him out, not let him breathe here. Just go out of this with 4-0 score going into the next period. Oh, he got him in a cradle here right at the end. And we're coming some more near fall. Wow. It almost looked like he was. It looked like he was pinned there for a second, John.
He was darn close to getting that pin.
I think if Casey would have just tilted his head back, he would have saw what we saw on this side here, which was.
And we got a better angle from clear up here than, probably Casey does down laying on the mat.
And, John, wrestling parents, they do know a lot more than refs sometimes.
Absolutely. If the refs would just listen to us.
Yes.
So
Luke gets it slippery there on the bottom.
Yeah, it starts out on bottom, and he hits that reversal pretty quick. Now he's working on digging out that arm. He's wanting to get that arm bar out.
He's working on that hammer lock, getting that arm across the back. St. Mary did a good job of burying it into the mat.
Yep.
Maintaining his position on bottom. He's maintaining enough back pressure to fight Luke off. Here's where Luke, if he could hit that filthy chin drop or face rip, as we used to call it, and bring him straight back when he sits out like that. So he's got that thread then. He's working that thread again. Yeah, nobody gets more mileage out of this than the Schleppitz household here, though. I tell you what, they like that baseball bat. And now he's changing it over. Nice transition there from the crotch thread to an arm bar, and now he's working that arm bar / half Nelson on the other side. He's walking him over, walking it around the head.
He's got plenty
taking
of time.
his time, settling in his hips there with that arm bar. Casey's going to start counting here any second. Here he goes. He's counting.
He's on his back pretty hard. He's
He
trying
is.
to fight off.
He's glued. Luke's just got to look up here now at this point, and it's over.
Just hook that head.
Yep. Chin down hard right now, and then you would be over with. St. Mary's still fighting half, though. 20 seconds left.
He's working on trying to get that arm through.
Might be getting through here on Luke here.
Now Luke's got that forearm pulling it in tight.
There, he got
the
the fall. These are huge pins for us. I mean, you know, when you have a ton of different ranked wrestlers going against other ranked wrestlers or wrestlers that have been around the block a long time, this is huge to get a pin.
Yep.
And we have gotten several pins here now. And that's something that's kind of it's been a weakness of ours. Sometimes, you know, we win more matches, but we give up more pins. Now we're dishing out a little bit tonight.
So Jacob Windsor. I don't see him on the roster here.
No.
But we got number 3 in the coach's poll, Pete Rasmussen. Pete's in on that leg right away.
Yeah, Pete doesn't waste any time. I mean, if he's on the mat, he's moving. I mean, he doesn't sit there and dance and go back and forth.
He's got that Turk in, and he's working over, trying to get some back exposure.
This kid has not seen the
He put the power half in. Now he's going to walk that
Pete
over.
highlight reel.
Oh,
Pete.
Well, I tell you what, St. Mary's kid fought that off pretty good.
He's doing a good job, but Pete smells he's smelling blood in the water right now. He's got to run that arm up by the head there. Keep that arm up by the head.
He just got to settle in there.
Scoop the head up.
Yep. Minute 15 left, and that's a long time to sit there.
Yeah,
There's the fall.
Wow, John, I thought this was going to be
I thought it was going to be a barn burner.
I thought it was going to be a barn burner, and I don't know, Mr. Kelly, I'm glad that it wasn't as close as what he anticipated, because he's usually, I said.
I think he had it at 42-24 when I walked in.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It's 50 to 21.
Okay,
so
you're right. Okay, he's still the Oracle.
He's still the Blue Jay Oracle. I don't care
how
you
call
it, Jeremy.
And number one Blue Jay superfan as well.
Absolutely. I hope I can still follow around the Blue Jays when I get that age.
Yeah, that's a big win for Jamestown tonight. What's that do going forward for this side as we move forward towards senior night next week, and WDA is just around the corner?
Well, it's been a crapshoot up to this point. I mean, you've seen certain teams that should not, we have not seen in many, many years, like Williston knocking off BHS, and then Williston beating us by almost around the same score. I mean, really, really tight duels. I've never seen in all the years of wrestling, 20 years of wrestling around Jamestown here, I've never seen like the upper 6 teams be that close. I mean,
Jeremy, you think about that. You got Williston, you got Minot, you got Century still hanging in there. St. Mary's is going to make it a little tougher for them, but you know what? They beat Century. You got BHS.
And then you have us.
Then you got us. So, I mean, there's 6 teams out of the West that are fighting for them 4 positions for the dual team.
And any one of those teams would possibly, even like the 2 that are going to be eliminated, John, that aren't going to go to the state duels, that would probably beat any of the East teams on a given night,
right.
Depending on the night. I mean, so it's one of those things where, you can have, if you have an off night like tonight where you lose some of these tightly contested matches, or you anticipated they were tightly contested, and where the Blue Jays ended up getting a lot of falls, or we had kids that wrestled up and ended up beating certain other ranked kids. It just seems like we were good exactly where they were good. Right. I mean, and our good kids, kind of ruled out. And we've seen that go the other way over the years, where, some other team came in or we went to their gym and they canceled out some of our good kids. And we're lucky enough that almost all of our good kids ended up winning their matches and winning those tilt matches, which, gave us ended up being a little bit of a lopsided duel compared to what, many people anticipated. Some people had it on paper that, this was going to be a difficult duel for us to make, just because we had some kids that were injured.
Yep.
We had some kids we had to plug into the lineup. But, hey.
But you know what, talking to Coach Melmer, I mean, they're dealing with some of the same stuff. They got some injuries. Had a kid that had some, personal stuff come up and wasn't able to make it to school and practice. And, and he's a point getter for him. So that could, that could be a 12-point swing right there.
Yep.
So, it just depends. I mean, it's that injury thing that gets you, or, life happens, right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, how about at 132 and 195 tonight for Jamestown? Look like JV guys coming up and picking up big wins.
Oh, huge.
I tell you what, yeah, those kids. I mean, we're gonna be super fans here pretty soon of all these JV kids coming up. And I love for the fact that, we have enough kids coming up now in JV, and the numbers. We have a numbers situation where, I mean, Larry barely has enough room in the wrestling room, and there's kids that are coming up that we don't even know, like, all of their names right at this point, which is a great problem to have, because for so long it's like we knew every single kid from kindergarten all the way up through that was going to wrestle.
State.
Yeah, across the state, and and now it's like not even in our own Blue Jay room do we know all of the kids that are coming out, but it's a tribute to the depth. It's a tribute to, like, the kids that have put in the time and made it like kind of a fun, popular sport to be around. It's a good transitional sport to MMA and some of the things that kids are into these days and stuff like that. So wrestling is it's kind of fun. I mean, like, even if you're not a great wrestler, it's cool when you're hanging out with a bunch of bros to be able to kick somebody's butt on a given night. Even if you're just watching some TV and kicking back with the gang.
All right, guys. Appreciate your time. Be back here next Friday, right?
Heck yeah.
We'll be here live in the square.
Live in the square next Friday. 107.1 will have stream. Jamestown 107.1 Sports on YouTube as well. Blue Jays win over St. Mary's 50-21, the final score. Jamestown picks up a big West Region victory. Big thanks to Jeremy Braun and John Muse for helping out on the broadcast tonight.